In the heart of the Mediterranean, surrounded by the most beautiful and historic countries on the planet, lies Malta, the smallest country in Europe, and one of the most beautiful and mysterious on the planet. This archipelago is the dream of free-spirited bachelors and bachelorettes, a country that has gained fame as one of Europe's party capitals. From unforgettable boat parties to vibrant streets full of bars and clubs that never sleep, and even beaches where men and women can bathe or sunbathe without any clothes on. But Malta is much more than its parties. This country is full of unique curiosities. Did you know that it was here that ice cream parlors were invented in a place where there is no natural ice due to temperature? Or that some of its prehistoric temples, aligned with the stars, are older than the pyramids of Egypt and were built with stones weighing hundreds of tons that science still does not understand how they could move? Subway temples with elongated and deformed skulls were also found in this place, unleashing theories of ancient rituals, aliens, or a different human race. And it is even believed that there is a fortress where a ghost jealously guards a hidden treasure, punishing those who try to discover it. Malta is also one of the most beautiful archipelagos in the world, with paradisiacal beaches and coves, a unique gastronomy, within a country with millenary towns and cities in which history and mystery come together as in very few places. A millenary mystery that has a lot to do with the Knights of Malta, an order that began as a hospital organization before becoming a powerful and feared military order that protected the most valuable treasures of Christianity, a group of warriors that built palaces and fortresses, and even subway cities to protect the most important sacred relics such as the Holy Grail, and other secrets hidden in this island of legend. Pay attention and don't miss this new video of Uncensored World. Soon, we will take you to Malta, an irresistible destination for party lovers, with boat parties until dawn and a vibrant nightlife. But at the same time, one of the most beautiful and enigmatic corners of the planet, where history, mystery, and curiosities come together like nowhere else. Let's get started. Malta, one of the most precious archipelagos on the planet, is located in the heart of the Mediterranean, strategically located south of Italy and east of Tunisia. This country, composed of 3 main islands, Malta, Gozo, and Comino, is a tiny treasure with an area of just 316 square kilometers, making it the smallest state among the members of the European Union. This is one of the most striking curiosities of this beautiful country, as many are surprised that Malta is considered the smallest country in Europe, despite the fact that its territory is larger than that of other states such as the Vatican or San Marino. The reason behind this title lies in the fact that these other countries, although smaller in size, are independent states that are not part of the European Union, while Malta is, making it the smallest state within the European community. Despite its small area, smaller than the size of cities like Denver in the United States, the country's population exceeds 500,000 inhabitants, making it one of the most densely populated places in the world. 2 official languages are spoken in this fascinating corner of the Mediterranean: Maltese and English. Maltese is a Semitic language with Italian, Arabic, and English influences, reflecting the countless cultures that have passed through and left their mark on this island. English is a legacy of its period as a British colony, a stage that deeply marked its modern and current identity before achieving independence in 1964. Because of this, and because it is one of the main languages on the island, many people from other countries, especially Mediterranean countries, move to Malta to improve their level of English. This phenomenon, added to its warm climate, paradisiacal beaches, and rich history, has turned Malta into a very attractive destination both to learn the language and to enjoy a vacation, consolidating itself as a country with an important influx of foreign tourism, a reality that also has a lot to do with its attractive nightlife, which we will know in more detail later on. This cultural diversity, the result of centuries of history, makes Malta a place where East and West converge in a unique way, something that also has a lot to do with its powerful history and heritage. Malta has been coveted for millennia for its strategic position and stunning beauty. Since the first human settlements more than 7,000 years ago, the island has been home and target of Phoenicians, Carthaginians, Romans, Arabs, and Normans, among others. Considering its past, it is good to know one of the greatest mysteries and curiosities of this magical island, that of some of its megalithic temples, monumental structures that are not only a testimony of human ingenuity, but also an enigma that challenges our understanding of ancient civilizations. Among the most prominent megalithic temples are Hagar Kim, Menajdra, and the Hypogeum of Hal Saflieni. These structures were built more than 5,000 years ago, between the years 3,600 and 2,500 BC, making them older than the pyramids of Egypt and Stonehenge. Their exact purpose remains uncertain, but archaeologists believe they were religious or ceremonial centers, dedicated to rituals that could have been related to fertility cults, the seasons, or even astronomical events. What amazes everyone, experts and visitors alike, is the size of the stones used in the construction of these temples. Some of them weighed dozens of tons, yet they were transported, carved, and assembled with impressive precision, all without modern machinery. How did the ancient inhabitants of Malta achieve this? This is a question that has given rise to numerous theories. Some suggest that wooden sledges and rollers were used, although others argue that the island's natural resources would have been insufficient to sustain this technique. There are even those who venture the possibility of advanced engineering knowledge lost in time, or who suggest outside help from more developed civilizations, and even extraterrestrials. Another fascinating aspect of these temples is their alignment with astronomical events. Menajdra, for example, is oriented so that sunlight penetrates at specific points during the equinoxes and solstices, indicating a deep knowledge of the movement of the stars by its builders. But surely the most disturbing mystery of them all lies in the Hypogeum of Hal Saflieni, the only prehistoric temple in the subway world and one of the most interesting places to visit in Malta. A multi-level subway tunnel structure that was both a temple and a necropolis. This necropolis has 3 levels and was discovered by chance in the year 1902 and declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. Elongated and deformed skulls were found inside, which sparked theories about ancient ritual practices, genetic deformations, or even unknown human races. The rooms of the Hypogeum also feature unique acoustics, with certain frequencies resonating dramatically, which could have played a role in religious or spiritual ceremonies. The sense of mystery in this place can almost be touched, and visiting these temples is an experience that transports you to a time when the impossible seemed within the reach of human hands. An interesting fact, if one day you have the opportunity to visit Malta and this mysterious necropolis, is that to enter inside you must buy a ticket well in advance, as to preserve its conservation, only 80 people per day can enter. Leaving aside this millenary mystery, many centuries later, during the Middle Ages, Malta was under the dominion of the Crown of Aragon, and it was then when its history took a decisive turn that would make this country one of the most important and strategic places in the Mediterranean. This beautiful little archipelago would be deeply marked by the history and mysteries of the Knights of the Order of St. John, also known as the Knights of Malta. This order, founded in the 11th century, was born as a hospitaller organization dedicated to offering shelter and care to Christian pilgrims in the Holy Land. The Knights not only cared for the sick, but also ensured the safety of travelers on dangerous routes. But over time, this religious fraternity evolved into one of the most powerful and feared military orders in the medieval world. In 1530, Emperor Charles Quintus ceded Malta to these knights, granting them a strategic enclave in the Mediterranean for the defense of Christianity against the advance of the Ottoman Empire. From that moment on, they transformed the island into an impregnable bastion. They built fortresses, walls, and the impressive city of Valletta, designed to resist any attack. We will soon go into detail about this beautiful city, the capital of the country, and one of its most surprising curiosities, as this seems to be the city where in the distant 17th century, the first ice cream parlors in the world were created. Something that leads us to a fascinating question. Where could the Maltese, so many centuries ago, get the ice needed to prepare the most delicious ice cream, living in a country where temperatures never drop below 10 degrees Celsius? Or, in other words, how did they manage to obtain ice hundreds of years ago in a land without natural ice or the technology to produce it? In Uncensored World, we love to discover and share with you the most intriguing curiosities of the planet. So, we want to know your theory about this mystery. How do you think they did it? Pause the video and leave us your opinion in the comments. In a few minutes, we'll reveal the answer to this seemingly impossible mystery. But before that, let's go into detail about the legend and mystery of the Knights of Malta, since this order is also behind the mystery of the creation and ice cream culture in this beautiful European country. Over time, the work of the Knights of Malta was not limited to military defense, but they took on the mission of guarding and protecting the most important Christian treasures and relics of mankind. Among the most fascinating legends associated with the Knights of Malta is their alleged link to the Holy Grail, the mythical cup used by Jesus Christ at the Last Supper. According to some theories, the Knights may have guarded this relic, hiding it on the island to protect it from looting or desecration. Although there is no conclusive evidence, these stories have fueled the imagination of historians and adventurers who speculate on the whereabouts of this legendary object. There are traces that lead one to believe that many of these legends were true. For beneath Malta's surface, the Knights left an even more mysterious legacy, an intricate network of tunnels and subway cities. In places like Valletta and Medina, there are secret passages connecting buildings and fortifications in this way. These subway structures served not only as shelters during attacks, but also as hiding places for the treasures and relics that the Knights jealously guarded. Some believe that in these tunnels could be found objects such as the Holy Grail, the Spear of Longinus, or fragments of the Cross of Christ, relics shrouded in mystery and spiritual power. The combination of military power and spiritual guardianship made the Knights of Malta key figures in the Mediterranean. Not only did they defend the island from enemy attacks, but they also built a legend around themselves as protectors of Christianity's greatest secrets. Their influence was so great that even after their departure, legends about hidden relics and secret tunnels have remained part of Maltese folklore. Today, the mysteries associated with the Knights of Malta continue to attract those who seek to understand their true legacy. Subway cities, lost relics or hidden treasures make Malta a place where history and legend are uniquely intertwined. A past and a history that can be discovered by strolling around the country and marveling at its huge buildings, churches, and fortresses, but also enjoying one of Malta's best-kept culinary secrets, its ice creams. Although the warmth of the Mediterranean is ideal for enjoying this delicious dessert, few know about Malta's intriguing relationship with ice cream and the important role the island played in its history. Oddly enough, this relationship also includes the Knights of Malta, who, as we shall see, are also believed to be linked to the origins of the first ice cream parlors in the world. It is said that in the 17th century, in the narrow and vibrant streets of Valletta, the first establishments dedicated to both storing and serving ice cream began to appear, making this country one of the first places where this dessert was commercialized. Malta was the country where the first ice cream parlors as we know them today were created. Among the most prominent names of the promoters of this new reality is Frederick of Valois, a Knight of the Order of Malta who, according to tradition, popularized not only the sale of ice cream, but also the idea of experimenting with new variants. Among these innovations, some accounts point to the introduction of ice cream with milk, which marked a before and after in the evolution of this delicacy. But let's go back to the question we asked you a few minutes ago. How did the Maltese of the 17th century manage to have ice to make ice cream in a country where there is no natural ice or technology to produce it? It is logical to understand that in the 17th century, it was impossible to have the technology to produce it. So, both in Malta and in other countries that used ice, the only way to get it was naturally. That is why the answer to this mystery leads us to think about the cold and the distance, because if the place was too far away, it would be quite difficult to transport it to this country without losing it on the way. That is why the answer to this enigma is to be found on the highest and closest peak to Malta, the imposing Mount Etna on the island of Sicily. This volcano, which during the winter accumulated large amounts of snow and ice, was the main source of this valuable resource. During these centuries, huge blocks of ice were carefully extracted, packed and transported to Malta in specially prepared ships, preserving the ice in optimal conditions until its arrival on the island. Thanks to this ingenious commercial connection between Malta and Sicily, the Knights of Malta not only enjoyed ice cream during celebrations and events in their palaces, but also became the driving force behind the consumption of this culinary luxury among the island's upper classes. The 17th century ice cream parlors in Valletta were not simple establishments. They were centers of experimentation where ice cream began to take on new forms and flavors. Although there are no definitive records, some believe that in these same streets the idea of adding fruits, honey, or even aromatic herbs to the basic recipe was born, laying the foundations of what we know today. The connection between the Knights of Malta, ice cream, and Mount Etna is just one of the many curiosities that make Malta unique. While we cannot say with certainty that it was here that ice cream as we know it was born, the Maltese tradition surrounding this dessert lives on to this day, and every bite takes us back to a time when knights not only defended the island, but also enjoyed life's little pleasures, such as a perfectly prepared ice cream. Pleasures like those that seem to seek a good part of the tourists who come to Malta, motivated by the party or learning. Two of the main reasons, often combined, that make this beautiful archipelago one of the most desired destinations for young Europeans and foreigners. Malta has established itself as a place where you can improve your English in a unique environment. Many European countries choose this Mediterranean country as an economical and effective alternative to learn or improve the language, taking advantage of the fact that English is one of the official languages and that linguistic immersion is guaranteed thanks to the international environment it attracts. However, it is not just the classrooms that make Malta such an attractive destination for young people. The archipelago is famous for its sunny climate, idyllic beaches, and, above all, its vibrant nightlife. With all this, Malta has established itself as one of the most popular destinations for tourists, and especially for singles. With its lively nightlife, beach parties, music festivals, and vibrant social scene, this small Mediterranean archipelago attracts thousands of visitors each year looking for fun, new connections, and perhaps something more. Its warm climate, beautiful beaches, leisure, and unparalleled beauty create the perfect environment for those who wish to enjoy a unique experience. Something that we will now go into detail to help you get to know this country and its secrets in the best way. If anything characterizes Malta, besides its history and natural beauty, it is its vibrant nightlife. The party in this archipelago is not limited to a few scattered locals, but has real streets dedicated to nightlife that become the epicenter of fun. The best known is Paceville, in the locality of St. Julian's, considered the heart of the party in Malta. Here, discos, bars, and pubs line up side by side, offering an experience ranging from live music to international DJ sets. The streets of Paceville are full of life until the wee hours of the morning, and it is common to see groups of young people enjoying the night carefree. Another option is Bougiba, a place where the party has a more relaxed air, ideal for those who prefer bars by the sea and terraces with spectacular views. However, what really stands out in Malta's party scene are its famous party boats, boats that sail the crystal-clear waters of the Mediterranean while offering unforgettable parties that last until dawn. These events are a fun lover's dream and a unique experience in an incomparable setting. Soon we will know the most beautiful and curious places in Malta, going into detail of the best beaches and coves, even helping you to know somewhere there are people who bathe and sunbathe without any clothes. But before that, we take the opportunity to ask you, what surprised you most about Malta? Would you like to know this country? We will love to read you in the comments, and you know that doing so is the best way to help Uncensored World to keep working every week to bring you the best content. So, thank you. Apart from the mainly youth-oriented partying, entertainment in Valletta is designed for all audiences, with concerts, bars, and cultural activities practically every day of the week. The capital of Malta, built in the 16th century by the Knights of the Order of St. John, is one of the smallest cities in Europe, but also one of the most beautiful and enigmatic. Its compact size, barely a kilometer long, is full of history and charm, with cobblestone streets, impressive Baroque buildings, and an atmosphere that transports its visitors to another era. Among its greatest gems are St. John's Cathedral, whose sober exterior contrasts with a dazzling interior filled with frescoes and gold detailing, and the Grand Master's Palace, a historic building that houses the Maltese Parliament and a fascinating collection of artifacts. The city is also noted for its vibrant cultural offerings, such as the Minoel Theatre, one of the oldest in Europe, and the National Museum of Archaeology, which houses artifacts from Malta's earliest inhabitants. In addition, from the gardens of Upper Baracca, you can enjoy spectacular views of the Grand Harbor, a historic enclave that even today remains a key point for navigation. Recognized as European Capital of Culture in 2018, Valletta combines tradition and modernity in perfect harmony. Its streets offer a unique blend of history, art, and gastronomy, with restaurants and bars that stand out for their Mediterranean influence. Small in size but immense in character, Valletta is a must-see destination where every corner tells a story, and where past and present meet to create an unforgettable experience for any visitor. Something that very few know about this beautiful city and capital of Malta is that it has a network of subway tunnels of dozens of kilometers built to withstand the so-called Great Siege of Malta in the year 1565. During this confrontation, the Knights of St. John and the attacking Ottomans built tunnels to pass under the city. Years later, they continued with the project and elaborated subway cisterns for fresh water. These constructions served as air raid shelters during the bombing raids in World War II. Another of Malta's most fascinating curiosities is its legacy with cinema, an industry that has found in this archipelago an unparalleled natural and historical setting. Thanks to the majesty of its buildings and the breathtaking beauty of its nature, Malta has been the backdrop for numerous international productions. From iconic films such as Popeye, Gladiator, World War Z, and The Da Vinci Code, to acclaimed series such as Game of Thrones, many of their most memorable scenes were filmed here, taking advantage of the country's unique fortresses, alleys, and landscapes. Malta's charm is not limited to Valletta. Very close to the capital are the three towns, Vittoriosa, Sanglea, and Cospicua. These small but historic towns are surrounded by the Grand Harbor and offer a total immersion in Malta's past. Vittoriosa, known locally as Birgu, is the oldest and is noted for its cobblestone streets, picturesque harbor, and the fortress of St. Angelo, which served as a backdrop for some film productions. These cities are a must for those who wish to explore the more authentic and less touristy side of the country, full of local life and traditions. Another must-see destination is Sliema, the modern center of Malta, known for its vibrant social and commercial life. Here you'll find a promenade lined with cafes, restaurants, and stores, as well as an unparalleled view of Valletta across the harbor. Although more contemporary than other areas of the country, Sliema also retains a historic feel in its churches and old buildings, while its modern facilities make it the perfect place for those looking for a combination of relaxation and activity. If you're looking for a more traditional experience, the picturesque fishing village of Marsaxlokk is a destination not to be missed. Famous for its colorful fishing boats called luzu, which float in its quiet bay, Marsaxlokk is an ideal place to sample the best fresh seafood dishes. Another must-see place in Malta is Mdina, known as the City of Silence. Discovering this walled town, once the capital of Malta, is the closest thing to traveling straight back to the Middle Ages. Its narrow streets, impressive palaces, and imposing St. Paul's Cathedral make Mdina one of the most photogenic settings on the island. It is no coincidence that this city has been used as a set for movies and series, including Game of Thrones, where it represented King's Landing in its first seasons. To tour Medina is to immerse yourself in an atmosphere of mystery and majesty that has remained virtually untouched for centuries. But perhaps the main attraction of the beauty that tourists want to find in this is in its beaches, as Malta has established itself as one of the most desirable beach destinations in the Mediterranean and the world, with coves and beaches that are among the most beautiful and sought after. Its landscapes look like something out of a postcard, and its climate is perfect for enjoying them at any time of the year. During the summer months, temperatures usually hover between 25 and 30 degrees Celsius, with clear skies and a Mediterranean breeze that makes the weather unbeatable. Even in winter, the minimum rarely drops below 15 degrees, making Malta an ideal destination to escape the cold. Among the country's most impressive beaches is St. Peter's Pool, a natural pool of turquoise waters, where the sea is so crystal clear that you can almost see yourself reflected in it. This place is not only a paradise for those looking to relax, but also a favorite spot for adventure lovers. It is common to see locals and tourists jumping from the rocks surrounding this natural pool, enjoying the thrill and unparalleled beauty of the Maltese waters. St. Peter's Pool combines the best of nature and entertainment, offering a unique experience that captures the essence of Malta's coves. Among its most beautiful and enigmatic places are the islands of Gozo and Comino, which offer magical corners to relax and explore. Comino is especially famous for the Blue Lagoon, a lagoon of incredibly clear waters that is a true paradise for swimming, snorkeling, or just enjoying the scenery. But there is something else that surprises many visitors: the existence of beaches where this life is practiced without clothes, a curious fact considering that topless is officially banned in Malta. Although these beaches are not regulated, it is common to find tourists and locals who practice naturism with discretion. Among the best known are Nejna Bay and Tufieha Bay, both offering unique landscapes and a quieter atmosphere than the more crowded beaches. In Nejna Bay, a golden sandy beach, it is common to find remote areas where people bathe without clothes. Another place to practice life without clothes is Tufieha Bay, ideal for those looking for a more adventurous experience. Reaching this beach requires climbing a clay hill, so it is advisable to wear comfortable shoes and carry a backpack with water. However, access can be somewhat complicated and even dangerous due to rock slides. Nevertheless, if you dare to go down, you will enjoy an almost deserted beach, surrounded by an impressive natural landscape. It is important to mention that although nudism is common in these places, it is not officially allowed in Malta, and topless is expressly forbidden on all beaches in the country. Therefore, if you decide to practice naturism, do so with caution and respect for the local rules, as you may be fined. These beaches represent an option for those seeking a space of freedom and connection with nature. But it is always essential to be aware of the rules before venturing. We are coming to the end of the video, and from Uncensored World, we would like to help you understand the best way to get to and enjoy this beautiful country to the fullest. Malta, being a destination in the heart of the Mediterranean, is very well connected with Europe and other parts of the world. Most visitors arrive through Malta International Airport, with direct flights from several major European cities. If you are traveling from the European Union, you do not need a visa, as Malta is part of the Schengen area, which makes entry formalities very simple. For those arriving from outside Europe, we recommend checking the requirements according to your country of origin. Another point in favor of Malta is that, despite being a destination of great beauty and attractiveness, it is among the cheapest countries in Europe. A beer in a local bar costs around €2, a dinner for two in a traditional restaurant is around €40, and you can find comfortable and well-located hotels from €60 a night. This combination of affordable prices and high quality makes Malta an ideal destination for travelers with different budgets, without having to give up enjoying all that this country has to offer. Getting around Malta is also very easy. Being a small country, you can easily get around using its efficient bus system, which connects virtually all points of interest. In addition, many of the towns and beaches are within walking distance of each other, which makes renting bikes, scooters, or even walking viable options for exploring. If you prefer something more comfortable, cabs and transportation apps are also accessible and fairly inexpensive. As you've seen, with its efficient transportation, affordable prices, and the warmth of its people, Malta presents itself as an ideal destination for any type of traveler. Whether you're exploring its rich history in its subway cities, jumping off the rocks of St. Peter's Pool, or enjoying its vibrant nightlife in the streets of Paceville, Malta promises unforgettable experiences that won't affect your pocket too much. Get ready to create magical memories if you visit this amazing country. From Uncensored World, we hope that this tour through the mysteries and wonders of Malta has been as exciting for you as it has been for us. Thinking about it, and the effort it takes us to make these videos, we would love you to leave us a nice like and your comment. It's the best way. You have to help us to keep bringing you the best content every week. If you enjoyed this video and you are not yet subscribed, do not wait any longer and do it now by activating the little bell to not miss the fascinating videos we do every week. Videos like this one that you can enjoy now, to know one of the most enigmatic corners of the planet. Don't miss it, and discover the wonders that this place has to offer.